Alright, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be playing F-Zero Maximum Velocity for the Game Boy Advance. Let us begin.
Three, two, one.
So let us start. Okay. So Grand Prix, Hot Violet. I always used Hot Violet. Whenever I play a game, I always try to go with the default, with the one they set you up with. They usually the one that's highlighted or the one that's ready to go is the middle guy. So this one's more about. I think this one is more about speed. I think. And there's the JB Crystal, the Windwalker, not the Skywalker, the Windwalker. We will go with the Hot Violet. A series of pawn. I'm gonna go with the beginner because I don't think I need to. What do you call it? I don't think I need to ramp up straight to knight or hard. So I played this game quite a bit when this first came out. I played this a lot actually, because I was very eager to play the Game Boy Advance when it was brand new. I think, when did the Game Boy Advance come out? It was 2000, I think. 1999. The years are just meshing together. Because I know the Game Boy. No, I know the PSP came out in, what is it, 2002? Maybe 2003? But yeah, the PSP was a very, very much high-tech device when it came out. It was like basically walking around with a PS2 in your pocket, what it felt like. But it's not quite that powerful, but it was capable of something close to PS2 level graphic-wise. Not quite PS2, but yeah, it was a little powerhouse. So F-Zero, I played the Super Nintendo version, which was the very first entry, and I've never really played. I never played it a lot because when I was a kid trying to play F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, I was very much getting frustrated. And the what do you call it? When you kind of tap the gas just to stabilize yourself. It's something I didn't learn. I didn't actually. The game didn't teach me. It was through trial and error when I was playing this game on my Game Boy that I learned how to successfully navigate corners. And eventually, I beaten all the cups, the game on beginner, and the all. I beat this game pretty much almost 100%. I recall beating all the cups on the hardest difficulty. I don't think I quite pulled that off with Mario Kart. Mario Kart can be a very what do you call it, tricky one to do, especially with on all the difficulties. Well, I think Mario Kart only has like what three speeds and a bunch of cups. So Game Boy like. It was a second one. It was called F-Zero GP Legend. And there was a third one that didn't come out here but stayed in Japan. I don't know what it was called, but I'm just going to refer to it as F-Zero 3. First place, and I was basically like all that muscle memory I have for this game just kind of helped me out here while I was doing commentary and talking. So, Pawn 2, Stark Farm. Whenever anybody thinks of Stark, grown-ups think of Game of Thrones, or anybody who's a Marvel fan will think of Iron Man, Tony Stark. So, anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. Sometimes I will just mention useless things when I'm talking. It's my bad habit of trying to avoid dead air when it comes to commentating. I usually try my best to stick to, what do you call it, the game itself, or else something related to the game. But yeah, playing video games and talking can be a little bit tricky. Especially when you're playing a game that requires a lot of, what do you call it, concentration like this game. Well, like, This game's not too bad. I think first-person shooters really trip me up. Like, I'll be trying to talk and, what do you call it? Enemies will be shooting at me from all sides. It was real hard to do commentary a lot when it was when I was playing Resident Evil 7. Because, yeah, that game is... I gotta play that game through again. I gotta, like, I played it, and I took it as an experience. It felt like an experience, but I gotta play it as a game later on. I think I'll play through it Madhouse style. And plus, there's all those extra DLCs. You know, Resident Evil 7 really does feel like Resident Evil 7, like the survival horror parts of the game and the juggling of inventory inventory, what do you call it? Space and everything. And trying to survive and trying to, you know, carry out your, stretch out your ammos and stuff. Oh, man. Okay, this is not good. I am in second place. Okay, there we go. Oh! Okay. Yeah, I am not concentrating a lot. But yeah, trying to play this game on a non-backlit screen was kind of, wasn't too bad on the ice because the track itself, like the racetrack, is very much, not a white color, but kind of like a beige of some sort. So it was very easy to see the track. Oh. And you know, one thing I don't think a lot of people talk about when it comes to Game Boy Advance games is that the sound on here is actually pretty decent. I mean, like, I remember playing this game and hearing the music off the tinny speaker, but the music here is actually it has a more it feels like it has a what do you call it? Kind of like a souped up version of the Super Nintendo sound card, I guess you could say. Like the electric guitar here actually sounds like electric guitar. I'm like, it sounds like an axe riffing. All right, so we came in first place once again. This is just beginner though, so I can actually play and talk at the same time. Kind of not turn my brain off, but multitask a little bit. One thing I learned about, it was because of Reddit that I learned that you don't truly multitask when you're trying to do two things at once. What your brain is basically doing is switching between two things very rapidly. So while I'm talking, my brain quickly switches to seeing what's on the screen and then telling my fingers to, oh, we want to move left, right, left, right, left, right. And we're taking in visual information at the same time. Also, we're listening to music. And this track here, this song on this track is actually one of my favorites off this game here. It's just that not that crescendo. What do you call it? Where it goes? I don't know what it's called. I don't want to, like. There's a musical term for it. What do you call it? It escapes my mind right now. Sometimes I'll have a very loose, I'll have a very loose grasp on a definition, and sometimes I'll use a definition, and I'm not 100% sure if that's what I wanted to use, because I one time said to somebody, don't worry, you don't have to worry too much about the stigma, and I don't know why I said that. I don't remember in what context I was talking about, but later when I thought about it, I was like thinking like, oh, I think I might have said something that he's gonna overthink later. So yeah, I tend to try to be. I gotta read more, or I gotta read more or carry around a dictionary. See, this is what happens when you don't spend a lot of time talking to people, or reading for that matter. Well, I do read a lot. It's just that I think the grammatical errors on Facebook and some of the websites I read are just slowly rubbing off on me. I'm catching some of the improper grammars. Okay. Yeah, I should actually play this game later on. Usually, I don't have a lot of time to do other things when I'm playing. I'm doing these quick play videos and long play videos, and I also want to get into doing what do you call it? Not I was thinking of doing a podcast at first, but no, I was thinking of no. There's a video series I want to start doing called the DBL Digest, which is DBL is short for Digital Backlog. But I didn't want to put Digital Backlog in the title because it's already a mouthful, and putting digest and the in front of it is going to make it sound extra long, like the Digital Backlog Podcast. I don't know. I guess it sounds okay, but the DBL Digest sounds a little shorter. The DBL Digest. I might change that up. I don't know. I want to keep the word digest in there. Maybe I'll just keep it as the Digital Backlog Digest. The Backlog Digest? I have no idea. I don't know what I want to stick with here. Right at the moment, I'm sticking with the DBL Digest. I was thinking of doing the Digital Digest, but there's already a website called Digital Digest, so I'm thinking oh darn, all the good names are taken. Well, I better think of something. But either way, the DBL Digest is going to be a multi-segment, kind of like a show, like Electric Playground, except I always found Electric Playground to be interesting at the same time a little boring. Like I used to try watch it when I was a young teenager, and I was thinking, oh, that's pretty cool. I wish I could record this so I can watch this when I'm actually bored. But yeah, mostly I would play video games and stuff. A lot of time it was pretty cool that they would interview what do you call it, game companies and developers, and you would get some what do you call it, in development footage of games that they were working on, and yeah, I find stuff like that pretty interesting now. And more interesting than I did when I was a teenager. So yeah, so I was thinking of for my Digital Digest, well, my DBL Digest show there. I was thinking of doing just basically doing these essay topics for the first segment, where I would talk about whatever, I would talk about I would talk about things relating to gaming culture, or else talking about a console, or issue, just topics like emulation, FPGA gaming, stuff like that. It's not going to be super in depth. I'm just going to be briefly touching on the topic and things I find fascinating, basically within, gaming as a whole. It won't, but I will also be reviewing games that I completed, and movies based on games. Probably some soundtracks as well, like music-wise. But that'll be for the music thing. Will be for when I actually find a few soundtracks that I want to get through. I don't know if I should do OCE remix title tracks, because at the moment I'm thinking I'm already doing media with copyrighted stuff, not copyrighted, but video games are kind of like video games themselves are they belong to the developers, and I don't own, even though I own the cartridge or a disc or the download, I don't actually own the game. So when I'm doing this channel here, I am just basically showing you what do you call it, my playthrough, and just doing a little bit of commentary at the same time relating to the game or other stuff related to. If I'm more talkative than I'm usually with what do you call it, previous episodes, it's just because I've been sleeping very well, actually. It feels like I'm less foggy headed now. I've had issues with sleep for on and off for the past few years, and most of the time I was very tired. If if I think about how tired I am all the time, it eventually just wears on me. I'm like thinking like, oh, I'm so tired. I hate being this tired. How come I'm tired? But then when I start playing a video game, I'm like, I'm tired, but this game is pretty interesting. I don't know. People might say it's a symptom of depression. I'm like thinking, oh, cool. Okay, so I'm depressed because I can't sleep, and I can't sleep because I'm depressed. It's one of those loop things. Why can't I sleep for some reason? Well, it's because multiple factors, but most of the time it's just lifestyle choices. I used to have a nighttime job, and I don't eat healthy and stuff like that. So I am just slowly on the mend from, walking in a brain fog. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So yeah, I'm thinking what do you call it? Since I'm able to formulate my thoughts a little bit better, I was like thinking, I want to do this DBL digest here. So the DBL digest will consist of a video game topic, and also it'll include reviews of whatever I choose: game, movie, show, music, whatever. And then the second part will be just some highlighted clips from these quick play videos. So yeah, I want to make this kind of like similar to like a video magazine sort of, but I don't want to put too many things in there just because I don't want to give myself too much work to try do by myself. But yeah, I'm thinking of trying to put out at least 1 or 2 videos a month. I want to put out 2 videos a month. It'd be nice if I could do it once a week, but in order to have that kind of time, I'd have to do this as my job. It would be nice to do it, but if it paid better than having the job I have right now, which it sucks, but it doesn't suck as bad as some previous jobs I had before. But yeah, one thing I think what do you call it? If this channel and playing video games and being a video game journalist becomes a full-time job, I'm kind of afraid that I'll lose passion for video games. Like, I'll be like, oh no, not another video game again. I don't want to play any more Resident Evil. I don't want to play any more Final Fantasy. They all suck now, or something like that. Well, the Final Fantasies seem to be hit or miss nowadays. The Resident Evil games are mostly overall okay. Okay, they're great, I should say. Resident Evil 5 was just okay. It was very action oriented. It was less Resident Evil than I wanted it to be. Like, Resident Evil 4 felt different, but it also still felt like Resident Evil, but I don't know why they moved away from the zombie thing, but now it was some sort of parasite. And then in Resident Evil 7, they moved away from the parasites to like some sort of bioweapon. They moved back to the bioweapon part of it, but it's not a virus, it's a fungus of some sort. It infects the brain, and it turns the people into not zombies, but these black licorice swamp things. I think we're doing fine. And so far I haven't even used my boost. Maybe once when I bounced off the walls too many times in, the second race? We'll use it again. Okay, whoa. Okay, I'm going too fast for my own good. We did it. Last race. We did it. Okay, I think, was that the last race, or do I have one more after this? Results. Total 245. Look at that. We beat the, pawn circuit. Okay, so that was very easy, but then again, this is the beginner mode, and this is the easiest, racetrack to start with. Usually the very first one you start with is, the ones that eases you into the rest of the game. Because I know that playing the last circuit in the last few races there on the hardest difficulty setting, yeah, it requires total and complete concentration. So if I were to play a long play of this, yeah, I probably would lose quite a bit, and you wouldn't hear me talking a whole lot. But anyway, so yeah, we'll just let this thing play through, and I'm going to talk a little bit more. So yeah. Oh man, I can't wait until I start, I'm looking forward to the next RPG. Right now I'm playing through Chrono Cross. And, okay, here we are. We're at the title screen. I don't know what to play next after Chrono Cross. I want to flip a coin between, Oh, there was The Witcher 3. And then there was Final Fantasy 13. And then Persona 4. There's just so many games I want to get through, but I was even thinking of increasing the RPG episodes to 4 hours, but I think 3 hours is fine enough. That's like a whole Lord of the Rings movie right there. And plus, my voice always feels worn out at the end of 3 hours. If you ever listen to any of my Chrono Cross, I keep on calling it Chrono Trigger. But if you ever watched any of my Chrono Cross videos, and then if you ever, let's say you watched it all the way, or you fast forwarded to the end, you could hear some wear on my voice. It's just my voice just slowly giving in. I'm not the most talkative guy, so I usually keep to myself, and I'm not very sociable when it comes to being out and about. I haven't really been sociable since I stopped going to school. So, no, actually it was in my mid-20s is when I just started, is when I started kind of keeping to myself. Like I used to, like when I moved away from home, and I moved quite a bit of ways from home, I didn't really seek out to make friends, so I just kind of kept to myself. I do have some friendly people that I see every day, but nobody really that I go and visit and stuff like that, But anyway, so what else was I gonna say? No, I think I said everything I needed to say. But anyway, so yeah, this was F-Zero Maximum Velocity for the Game Boy Advance. Very good game. I played it quite a bit. I have played this game almost mindlessly throughout this whole episode. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it and playing this game. And we will catch you next time with a different game. So until then, we'll see ya. Have a good one.